The man many are calling the future of the heavyweight division takes to the ring. Moses Itauma begins his hunt for world title goals.
Fancy that. Listen, I'll be able to get into that, but I never thought I'd fancy that. I don't want to be in a, oh, this is a tight fight. Nah, I just want it to be like, I'm gonna smash you unanimous.
I feel like the underdog all the time, you know. I never lose that mentality. I like being the underdog. I like being the dark horse, you know. I'm ready to just bring a surprise and put them to sleep, you know. All of the guys that they're gonna put in front of me just
It makes it easier when you are boxing. It does make it easier. It does make it easier, but he's here, I'm here, and I'm happy. I'm happy, and it's a matchup. It's a matchup that I really, really, really did like.
Like you said, when that bell rings, it's going to be two different animals in there as well. You know.
I mean, you said earlier in that room next door, lights out and then nights out.
Yeah.
You want to knock his lights out and then you want to have a night out with him.
I said lights out.
It's a weird sport where you can literally be talking beforehand, get in the ring, and you're trying to take each other's head off, and then afterwards you're best friends again because you earn that respect in there. It's a funny sport, but wouldn't have it any other way.
Your last defeat to Filip Hrgović.
Which was a good fight, by the way.
No, first big step up fight as well against #1. You know, everyone ruled me out of that fight. A couple close rounds. Scorecards are quite close towards the end as well. Thought it was a bit of a crappy stoppage. You know, he hit me with a good cracker of a right hand. Obviously, I want to continue, but it is what it is. So we move on.
Obviously, his knockout power is something.
It's heavyweight division, isn't it?
It is
We all punch
heavyweight.
pretty hard. You hit someone clean, it's going to hurt.
That's very true.
Yeah. That's just how it is. Like.
But
listen,
when your record is 8.
He did what he had to do. How many times over the years have you seen fighters do the same thing?
When they've got a fight scheduled?
Yeah. By doing that, everybody knows who he is. They didn't know before, they know who he is now. And the winner of this fight, I genuinely do believe will be fighting Usyk.
Shocking scenes on DAZN Uncut. Future heavyweight war just exploded as Moses Itauma and Daniel Dubois go face to face. Tension was absolutely insane. Both men staring each other down like a future world title fight is already signed. Fans are going crazy believing this could become the next brutal heavyweight mega fight.
But I just think the question needs to be asked, who are you boxing for? Why are you doing this? And is it to impress someone? Is it to keep on the good side? I don't know what it is.
Peter Fury delivers the most brutal and most honest assessment of Daniel Dubois going into this fight with Moses Itauma. He says Dubois did what he could in his last fight, but was simply not good enough to do anything with what was put in front of him despite his 3 very good wins before it.
Dubois had done what he could. He just wasn't good enough to do anything with Usyk whatsoever. And there's no disrespect to him because he's had 3 very, very good wins. You know, before that, he's an IBF world champion.
Daniel Dubois steps forward and says something that tells you exactly what kind of warrior and what kind of fighter he truly is going into this massive clash with Moses Itauma. Dubois says stay in reality and says when you are a true warrior you have to dig deep and go to that dark place inside yourself and come out on top. Dubois is telling Moses Itauma directly, I have been to the darkest places in boxing and come back stronger every single time.
you know, stay in reality, you know, it's just not slipping. You know, I got to dig deep. And as a warrior, you have to dig deep. It's got to go to that dark place and come out on top.
A boxing analyst delivers the most devastating verdict that Daniel Dubois looked absolutely terrible in that last performance. He looked like a man who simply did not want to be there. No fire, no hunger, just pure survival mode. Daniel, you were running, holding, hiding. But Moses Itauma does not come to survive. He comes to destroy. He comes to blast people out cold. And Daniel, that survival mentality of yours against this young lion, that will get you eaten alive.
He looked terrible. He looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked like he didn't fancy to fight. He looked like he was only there to survive. And Moses Itauma wants to blast people out and all this, that, and the other. Why didn't they go with
Daniel Dubois steps forward at the face-off and says this fight is the start of his career at the very highest level, and says he has heard all the talk before and is completely ready for every single word of it. Dubois says Moses thinks he has underestimated him, but Dubois says he knows exactly what is coming and has prepared for absolutely everything. Dubois looks Moses directly in the eyes and says he has heard it all before and is ready for all of it.
Starting for me, it's my start of my career for me.
He seems to think, for some reason, that you've underestimated him. Why is he saying that?
Who knows? We've heard that before. All of this.
Moses Itauma steps forward at this explosive face-off and delivers the most confident and frightening statement of this entire build-up. He says, "If what I did to my last opponent was just the acid test, then ask yourself, Daniel, what level am I ready for now?" Moses has been screaming he belongs at world level, and everyone needs to listen. He is coming for everything you have, Daniel. You are standing directly in his way.
If that's the acid test and that's what you did to him, what sort of level are you ready for now? Are you ready for world level?
I've been screaming it, of course. I've been screaming it, but you know, like, I get it. Like, they want to step me up slowly. I'm down for that, you know what I mean? So, listen, I'm just trying to enjoy boxing now.
Liam Goff makes the most exciting prediction about this entire Moses Itauma and the Daniel Dubois clash, and says both fighters are big enough names to draw absolutely massive audiences from every corner of the boxing world. Goff says stylistically this fight just guarantees a genuinely brilliant contest from the very first bell to the very last. But then Goff delivers the most thrilling verdict of all. He says the result will be pure carnage and an absolute knockout, and says there is simply no way this fight ends any other way. Goff also says he loves the idea of Dubois coming back for more fight with Itauma.
Both guys are big enough names, they draw huge audiences, and it's a mega fight in terms of just stylistically. I mean, it guarantee a good fight. The result, carnage, knockout. What more do you want to say? It's just, there's no way that fight doesn't go, or there's no way that fight doesn't end in a knockout. It's phenomenal. But I like the idea of Dubois coming back.
Moses Itauma steps forward at the face-off and says something that shows the entire boxing world exactly why this young man is so special and so different from every other heavyweight prospect out there right now. Moses says he feels the pressure of this fight, but genuinely does not care about it at all. He says other people's expectations of him are not going to help him inside that ring against Daniel Dubois, so he simply blocks them all out completely. Moses says he sees everything surrounding this fight as pure entertainment and says his only job is to deliver when that bell rings. And after everything we have seen from this young man so far, the whole boxing world completely believes that he absolutely will.
Do you feel the pressure of that though? Like, you know, like some fighters do feed off that.
I feel it, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care, honestly, only because it actually does me no favours. People's expectations of me is not going to help me in the ring, so I guess it's kind of entertainment, and I've got to deliver, innit?
That's a good answer. I mean, I watched the episode and I thought it was a very good episode.
Frank Warren delivers the most balanced and most honest assessment of Daniel Dubois' genuine chances against Moses Itauma, and says something that every single person writing Dubois off needs to truly hear. Warren says Daniel absolutely can win this fight, and it is not about his ability, because the ability is completely and undeniably there. Warren says Dubois has the power, the boxing ability, the fabulous jab, and the ability to punch with both hands. Warren says if Dubois focuses and does exactly what he has done in his last few fights, he can genuinely make it happen against Moses Itauma. Warren is reminding the entire boxing world that Daniel Dubois is never ever to be completely written off by anyone.
Having said that, you know, Daniel, he knows Daniel can win this fight. It's not about his ability. He's got the ability. He's got the power. He's got the boxing ability. He's got a fabulous jab. We know he can punch with both hands. It's this. And if he focuses and does what he's done in his last few fights.
Joe Rogan steps forward and delivers the most electric and most exciting endorsement of Moses Itauma that any fighter could ever dream of receiving from one of the most influential voices in all of combat sports. Rogan says Moses Itauma is the real deal and asks if people truly know who this man is. Rogan says Moses is a 20-year-old heavyweight who is simply a complete and total problem for absolutely everyone in this division, including Daniel Dubois. Rogan says Moses is so fast that he moves like a middleweight, and says what he did to Dillian Whyte left everyone completely stunned. Rogan points out that Moses is only slightly older than Tyson was when he won the heavyweight title, and says this extraordinary young man could potentially challenge every single record that the sport has ever known.
I'll tell you who's the real deal. Moses Itauma. Do you know who that motherfucker is?
The giant,
that 20-year-old heavyweight.
Oh, yes.
Bro.
Yeah,
Did you see what he did to Dillian White?
Yes, he's a problem.
Bro.
Yes.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
That guy's
Is he only 20?
20 years old.
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
just slightly older than Tyson was when he won the title, so he can't be the youngest guy to ever win the title.
Damn.
This motherfucker is so fast. He moves like a middleweight.
I know.
Here's Itauma.
Look at that.
Watch this guy.
The analysts step forward and deliver the most fascinating tactical breakdown of exactly how Daniel Dubois is planning to approach his massive fight with Moses Itauma. They say the way Dubois' last fight ended left serious questions unanswered, but say Dubois is definitely a better and more complete fighter now than he was back then. The analysts reveal that Dubois has something very specific in his head going into this fight. He genuinely believes he can hurt Moses to the body, and says Dubois, like many others, believes that the body shot is the key that unlocks this entire fight. The analysts say Dubois will go out there with complete confidence and target that body shot from the very first round, because he knows from painful experience exactly how devastating a perfectly placed body shot can truly be.
And the way it ended, we weren't happy, and there was questions raised about Daniel again. He's definitely a better fighter now than he was then.
Agreed.
But he has something in there, and in his head, he's thinking, I can get this guy. I can hurt him to the body. I think Daniel, like me, believes that shot was fine, and he'll go, I'm just going to target the body again.
Teddy Atlas closes everything with the most powerful and most legendary words of this entire Moses Itauma versus Daniel Dubois buildup, and says something that stops absolutely everyone in their tracks. Atlas delivers his most famous saying with complete conviction: punches are born, and they are absolutely not made. Atlas says Moses Itauma is a natural-born puncher who was put on this earth specifically to knock people out, and says people will expect him to deliver knockouts in the same way that Mike Tyson once delivered them: young, explosive, and completely devastating from the very first second. Atlas says there was even talk that Moses could potentially break Tyson's record and become the youngest heavyweight champion in history, but says that is simply not going to happen quite yet. But what Atlas makes absolutely crystal clear is that Moses Itauma is not just a prospect anymore. He is a genuine force that Daniel Dubois will have to find a real answer for inside that ring, or face the most brutal and most final consequences of not being ready.
Punches are born. That's my saying. I've said it for years. Punches are born. They are not made. Itauma is a puncher. He was born to be a puncher. So people will expect him to get the knockout, like Mike Tyson. Similar. They were looking at the similarities. Knockouts, young. Matter of fact, there was some talk that maybe he could break Tyson's record and win the heavyweight title as the youngest heavyweight. That's not going to happen.
What you have just witnessed is the entire boxing world reacting to one of the most exciting and most anticipated heavyweight face-offs in recent British boxing history, as Moses Itauma and Daniel Dubois came together at the DAZN Uncut press conference and left absolutely everyone watching completely electrified by what is coming when these two extraordinary fighters finally step inside that ring together. Moses Itauma came out and said he wants to smash Dubois unanimously, and says he is not there for a tight fight or just to survive. He is there to outbox and then knock out Daniel Dubois at the perfect moment. Daniel Dubois fired straight back and said it is simply his time now, and promised to put Moses completely to sleep, because he always feels like the underdog and the dark horse, and absolutely thrives on that feeling. Frank Warren confirmed that the winner of this fight will be fighting Usyk for the world title, making everything even more enormous and even more significant than it already was. Joe Rogan called Moses the real deal and said this 20-year-old moves like a middleweight and is a complete problem for everyone in the division. Teddy Atlas delivered his legendary verdict and said punches are born, and Moses was born to be a natural puncher in the same mold as Mike Tyson himself. Liam Goff predicted pure carnage and an absolute knockout, and said there is simply no other way this fight ends. Frank Warren reminded everyone that Dubois has the power, the jab, and the ability to punch with both hands, and can absolutely win if he focuses completely. Peter Fury delivered the most honest assessment and said Dubois was simply not good enough in his last outing, but acknowledged his 3 great wins before it. Moses himself said he feels the pressure but genuinely does not care because other people's expectations mean absolutely nothing inside that ring. And Daniel Dubois said he has been to the darkest places in boxing and come back every single time because true warriors always find a way to dig deep and come out on top. The truth is that this fight between Moses Itauma and Daniel Dubois is not just a fight for British heavyweight supremacy. It is a fight that will define careers, create legends, and tell the whole world exactly who truly belongs at the very top of this extraordinary and completely unforgiving division.